first message says, "Hello, sisters. I fell in love with a guy in my class. Even though he was good looking, most of my female colleagues discouraged me from dating him because they claim he isn't boyfriend material. He was so cool, gentle, had a great sense of humor. I thought he loved me too, but just wasn't bold enough to tell me because of basically what the other girls said about him. I went to him one day and expressed my feelings towards him. At first, he said he didn't want trouble from the guys who were chasing me at school. He later changed his mind, proposed, and I accepted. 2 weeks after we started dating, our relationship was no longer a secret, and many of my friends, including my best friend, insisted that I deserved better. This even led to an altercation with my best friend. He later told me that some of the guys who were interested in me had started warning him to stay away from me. We ignored everyone and decided to concentrate on us till something strange started happening. After a month of dating, he ceased communicating with me. He didn't call nor text me unless I did. I told him I wasn't happy about it. He apologized, promised to change, but the issue prevailed. There's no communication, no attention, no care, no romance. It bothered me a lot. I complained and all he did was apologize, but he still did not change. We're done with school now, and he refuses to reply my texts. When I visit him at home, he doesn't talk to me unless I ask a question. All he does is to play with his phone till I get bored and decide to leave. A week ago, I asked for a breakup because I felt I was bothering him. He didn't give in to my request, but rather apologized again and asked for another chance. I told him I will think about it. It's been a week now, and he hasn't even called or texted me to check up on me. I still love him and I want to give him another chance, but I'm scared that he will still ignore and avoid me. I don't know what to do and I'm really confused. I need your advice. Please help. Yeah, ladies, munch on that for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rosina.
Thank you.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything. I'm like in very deep thoughts. So they're in the same school, probably the same class, and she felt they had a thing going. See, I don't know. This peer pressure, sometimes it does a lot to influence the kind of decisions that we make. And I don't know. Sometimes you think that you don't really care about what other people are saying, but the more they are saying it, the more it kind of like sticks into your head. So if a lot of guys have told him, she's not good enough for, you're not good enough for her, she deserves better, and it sinks into your head. A time is going to come, even though the guy wants it so much. Who cries this? Everybody's saying that she's too good for me. I hear, then instead of appreciating that person that you have, now your response becomes negative because you want to show her that you are somebody. Right. You are not she is not too good for you. So you start punishing her and wanting to see her beg you for your attention to make it feel like you are actually good enough for her. That's one side. But the other side is also that, this night we keep saying that, African men, Charlie, sometimes no matter how much they are traveled or how much open-minded they seem, going forward to declare your emotions ahead of the man showing you any form of emotion, most of the time I don't think it's a good card to play. It's okay to give signs, to give hints, to put it out there. And if the guy asks you, there's nothing wrong with, laying it out there. But sometimes when you're the one asking, it means that you become the one to defend it. You don't have the opportunity to play the female role where you are chased, where you are hunted, then he's on his tiptoe to make sure that he treats you right. Then you are on your tiptoe to make sure that the relationship is still maintained. That's another side to it. But I think that basically a lot of things have happened from school. A lot of things have been said, some of which you may not be privy to. Some of which probably he was threatened by other boys in his dorm or hall, whichever school, and it's probably eating into him. So it's not made the relationship very healthy. And normally, once a relationship gets to a stage where the partner really doesn't want to spend time with you, I mean, he's with you, but he's not with you, he'd rather be on his phone, you can't strike a conversation, and you feel something is wrong, I think that you should not give in to the apologies. I think you just need to walk out, count your losses and walk out, and then learn from it, and then be in a more mature relationship with somebody who wants to be in the relationship with you. That's what I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Gil, are you on the same train of thought?
Yeah, I agree with what you said at the last end. Of course, I mean, she has to walk away because from day one, it looked like she was on a solo project. It was just she was on her own because first of all, she said she thought the guy might like her, but because of what people were saying, it wasn't making a move. But how can you even think that way? As long as the person hasn't made a move, how can you think for the person and say it's because someone, he wasn't into you that much. So you should have also thought that way. And even if at the end of the day you were able to get into contact with him and you must have talked about, little, feelings for each other, whatever. But at the end of the day, you should have allowed things to grow. Watch how it grows. Watch how you respond to each other. See if you're compatible. See if he matches some of your standards. But it looks like it's just all about, I'm in a relationship with this guy. The guy is not calling you. He's not contributing anything. And it looks like he's just pleasing you by the responses. Anytime you complain, he will say, sorry, doesn't do anything. It's like both of you are carrying a sofa. And he's left the whole weight for you. You are on this end carrying it, and he's just there like that. And you're like, hey, carry. And it's like, okay. And then he dozes off.
Right.
That's what's going on.
That's exactly what's happening.
So I don't get what she wants someone to tell her. You don't have to beg someone to put their money where their mouth is. If someone is saying something, let them show it. It has to grow. So if you feel like you're doing all the work, why are you there? Making yourself miserable. Because from what you're saying, there's nothing for someone to say, okay, hold on, or try this way. You went to his house, he will say sorry. Now you're saying you're afraid that what? I don't even get what she's trying to say. She's afraid that, she said she loves the guy.
Right, she still loves him.
And it's just 1 month, eh?
Yeah, I mean, what's she talking about? Like, what are you talking about? You see, so like Rosina said, like at the end of the day, this is not a relationship. I don't know where the guy's head is at, but obviously he's not interested in you that way. Maybe he can't even just tell you outright that, you know what, I don't want this. Maybe he's just being too nice. So you say, okay, I'm sorry, and then he doesn't put in the work. Yeah. So please, just Charlie, it's sad listening to the whole thing.
That it's gone on for as long as it has.
I mean, she should just, Charlie, as Sabi would say, she should mourn the whatever and just move on. She should mourn the relationship and move on.
Olivia has her hands on her head, like the temples,
I mean,
girl, talk to me.
When the smile is bro like that, what is coming up?
What is coming is this thing, heavy.
No. Today they are cool. But you see, she mentioned some important points for me that are very, very important in every relationship. She said there is no communication, there's no romance, there's no attention, there's no care, and some other things as well. And you see, in most relationships, if you can't communicate, what does it mean? Are you going or are you coming? It doesn't even give you room to even get to know the person. That is why I always say that it's very important. The foundation of every relationship is good communication. I mean, if your partner does something, right, and the communication is always a one-way. It has to be two-way. It can't be one person constantly talking about their feelings, constantly complaining, constantly, at the short end of the stick. And clearly, my dear, you are at the short end of the stick. The foundation of the relationship, like I always say, is not one that's heading in the right direction, if you ask me. And I mean, like my sisters have said, just 1 month, hell. I always, I would like to ask you, okay, to sit back, okay, look at what's happening, try and reflect, ask yourself, is this the kind of relationship you see yourself in the next 2 years? It's just 1 month or even 1 year. Do you see yourself constantly complaining to this guy, and this guy being indifferent about his reaction, changes 1 second, and after the next is like, okay, he's back to his normal self? You know, this relationship is not for you. Maybe you don't know. And I would like to join the sisters to tell you that this relationship is not for you. This guy, you may be ready for the relationship in which you're in right now, but this guy clearly isn't. From day one, he told you when you decided, oh, you really like him. He told you, he said to you, hey, in a nice way, he kind of said to you, oh, he doesn't want other guys who like you to come and beat him or something. So you dear, like he's minding his own business. And then he let it go. And then he went back, thought about it, and decided to come back to you and ask you out. So you asked him out, he was indecisive, he gave you some excuse, but he decided, he took the decision to come back to ask you out and go out with you. So it means that he reflected on the decision. But it could also mean that after he even asked you out, he's never been ready. He's not the kind of person to be in a relationship. Or genuinely and technically, you're probably and maybe just not the one for him. Don't beat yourself too much, okay? Like Savi always says, don't see it as a loss. Learn from your rich experiences that you've got and run with it. Don't stay in this relationship. It will do you no good. You will be depressed. You end up acquiring all sorts of weird habits. You'll be nagging. You'll be sad. It will drain you, your real personality. And this, my dear, the 1 month is usually the lovey-dovey time whereby, oh, you're eager to know each other. Hey, you're talking to Charlie. You know, I like beans and cocoa. I like watching. So Charlie, can we have some to eat? What do you really like to do? Do you like horse riding? Do you like to ride motorbikes? Let's go out. Let's do this together. But Charlie, it's like you're the only one talking, and the guy said, Charlie, you know the biz. So, sweetheart, look at what you want. It's supposed to be give and take. Relationships are supposed to be about give and take. You love the person loves you in return. Okay, they're kind to you, they're empathetic of you, they make you trust you, they create opportunities for dialogue. In most relationships, when you look at the curve or when you look at the life cycle of most relationships that actually thrive on good communication, love, and trust, and like I always say, good sex and all of that. After how many years down the line, you find out people who've been married for like 60 years, 70 years, you know, they're probably not having great sex, but the communication is great and the love is there. So it's not always about the sex or the romance or whatever, but they've been able to make things work and bring themselves together through love and understanding and communication and empathy. How many years down the line? So they'll be like 90 years together, but they're still happy because the foundation is solid, the foundation is strong. And sweetheart, I don't think that that's the kind of relationship in which you're in right now. I think the earlier you leave him, the better, because you're the only one in this relationship and you don't want to do that to yourself. Sometimes it's good to love yourself. So love yourself and expect nothing. Don't bring your standards down. Have some kind of standards. Have some kind of expectation as to how you expect a man to treat you. And then when you go out there with so much positivity and you know who you are, it resonates and you attract that kind of person. And don't be desperate for love. Like the sisters say, if you find somebody and you think you like the person, just make sure that the person is on the same page. Allow the guy to come and chase you. I think it adds a bit of excitement to it. It has to be two-way. Okay, and most of the time, the men who really, really are into the women and go the extra mile to get them, when they get them and they're actually the good guys who actually know a good thing and they find a good thing, they do whatever it takes to keep it. So a word to the wise, my dear, like they say, is enough.
And in this case, a couple of words to the wise.
Yeah.
Let me just add my voice. I mean, so this whole message, Anne, there's only one thing that jumped out at me. She says she went to him, expressed her feelings towards him. his response was he didn't want to basically trouble from the guys who were chasing her. For a guy who really likes you, he won't say that.
Yeah, exactly.
He won't say that though.
Exactly.
That's his opportunity right there to jump in and take over.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
For me, that was the first red flag that you missed.
Yeah.
I don't think he's into you at all. I think he probably you said he came back later, he changed his mind. He probably wants to tell his friends, hey, some girl, they film you how they're like, oh, Charlie, manage jam, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
And he started, the manager was the manager.
Yeah, you know, and so that's what he did. So he's, and you're talking about no romance, no this. You want to bet you probably dropped your knickers. He's got what he wants.
Yeah.
So it's time to move on. You know, he's not even in this. You're in that relationship alone.
Exactly.
So, Charlie, just leave the man. It's okay. He's done some. You know, let him go.
Have done some.
Yeah, you've also done some. Let him go and feel free. Couple of messages coming through for this lady. Akuya says, sounds like my ex. Leave him. I beg. With no explanations. Take time off. Heal. Find someone better. Move on. Make sure he sees you've moved on. You deserve better for all this effort. Lungu says, there's no confusion here. The guy has zero interest in you. Zeros in capital letters. Move on, please. You deserve better. And next time, let the guy chase you. Connie says, please, don't add more mouths to this already wasted. No, don't add more months to this already wasted 1 month. He should be able to communicate with you no matter what, even if it's once a day. But for a whole week, and he doesn't want a breakup, why? Is he ghosting you it says the way he's ghosting you, just do same. Case closed. The only thing is she loves him. Albie says, this girl, are you serious? You're waiting for Jesus to descend from the sky before you see the sign that you're unimportant to this guy. Continue giving him chances, like Asari original payoff. Lexus says, Auntie Araba University graduate, I beg. You don't need any advice. Why? You just want him to tell you that it's not working. Just take yourself out of the equation. Love is not supposed to be one-sided. It drains you totally when you always have to call the shots. Matilda says, maybe someone threatened him and may have told lies to him about you and he can't ask you, hence the attitude. Mercy says, some men are like that. They don't break up verbally, but their actions will tell you he doesn't want you again. Wise up and let go of him. These are the men who later come back with the excuse that they didn't tell you it's over.
Yes.
Hey, that is annoying.
It's true.
Don't try. Don't try. Mame finally says, young lady, the guy is not a bad person, but he doesn't love you and doesn't know how to communicate it to you. Amos 33 says, how can two walk together unless they agree? There's no agreement between you two. Relationships are built by two people and not just one person. Let him go. The signs have been written on the wall already. Thank you so much for watching Sister Sister on your favorite City TV. Now, don't forget, if you want some more exciting content, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. We call it the City Tube. And don't forget to click on the bell to receive notifications for fresh updates.
Sister Sister, every Friday at 9 p.m. only on City TV.